Welcome, everyone, to the Shattered Lands. I am your DM, Bill. Today we are going to be continuing with Shattered Lands. We are on session 15 now. If you're joining us on Twitch right now, thank you very much for joining us live for this game. If you missed any episodes, we've got a whole series of them. Oh, I did not update all that. And they're all on YouTube now. We've started I'm carpet bombing, so we're going to have a lot of shows dropping really quickly. So check us out on YouTube for past shows of various different runs, both Shatterlands and the others. Currently, we are up to date with this. Today, we will be short a player, so we're going to join our party, though, upon deck of the New Dawn, Senator Hella's ship, which you have taken over, tethered to the tragedy, the High Priestess Theodosia McCreely's kind of private ship that you commandeered for this action. And you're on deck, the other crew's there, as you kind of take stock and try to assess what happened, try to see what was going on. A crystal on the back of the ship cracks and explodes, emanating this bright, brilliant light that kind of floods over your group, and you feel everything go black. Can everyone give me a Constitution saving throw?
I got a 21.
21. Okay.
I rolled on that one, so that's a 6.
Nice.
9.
Okay. Hendrix, you feel yourself kind of wake up from whatever this blackness starts to slowly fade, slowly gather itself. But you find yourself kind of swirled around by mist. Visibility is pretty low, only a few feet here and there. There's like this dim, kind of diffused light that kind of comes through this mist around you. And as you kind of look around, you spot Lucius and Pios lying on the floor, seemingly kind of unconscious or out of sorts at the moment.
I'll run up to him. Pios, Lucius. Shake them both.
Slowly, your eyes start to open, and as you're laying on your back, you're looking up into the sky, and there's this kind of dimly diffused light and this swirling mist that seems to just kind of shift around you without there really being a strong breeze or wind at all. But you can kind of feel the shifting in the mist around you. You can sense and see as it moves through the light the different densities of the mist kind of forming different patterns. You feel yourself on a stone, rocky, dry ground. Parts of the earth there is cracked and torn. You don't see, there's no like vegetation or anything. What would we like to do?
What happened?
Where the hell's the ship?
Where the hell are we?
I think one of the crystals exploded. But that can't cause this, right? What is
We
this?
inside the crystal?
We are not dead. I do not think. Look around.
All right.
I'll help if I can.
Yeah, sure. Two of you kind of start scanning the area, looking around the ground. Pios, give me, I'd say, a perception or survival check, something in there.
I'll give him a guidance.
I'm gonna do survival.
Okay.
I ignore what I just rolled.
I honestly don't have any of the rolls up, so you have to tell me them because.
Oh yeah, a lot better. What does guidance do?
D4. You add a
D4.
D4 to your check.
Cheapest.
85.
No, not 85. Let me do math, though. 31, though.
31. Holy shit.
So still.
I rolled maximum on the guidance.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was phenomenal. Yeah, like in the world of D&D, like a 30 is like godlike, phenomenal scores. So you pretty much get all that you're going to get from this. So as you're looking around on the ground, you start spotting various like just patterns that no one else is seeing. You see the faint spots where footprints have hit the ground. And they look strange. Clawed feet, various forms. And the majority of them seem to be traveling in one direction. And as you kind of look a little bit closer, you find the edges of this stone area that you're on. And it almost seems to shift from where you're at to like a little bit softer dirt off to the sides, still dark. Whether the kind of grayness and almost charcoal color to this is due to something that happened or due to this like dim light level, you do realize that you're on like a road. And it seems to be heading like in this kind of northerly direction, as best as you can tell direction. Given the survival check, you're pretty sure you kind of got a glimpse of where the sun's at, but it's hard to pin it down because there's not like one bright spot. There's just an area where the light kind of seems to be coming brighter in an area, and an area where it seems to be slightly darker. So the best as you can tell, there's a road that seems to be running kind of north or south, with most of the footprints going north.
It appears that we have maybe dragonborn, maybe lizard folk. Unsure. They're going north along this road. So civilization must be that way.
Well,
Oh,
civilization must be that way. They may have been
Either
leaving
that.
us.
I do not know where we are at exactly. I cannot pinpoint the sun either. It is somewhere out there, but it's strange. It is not where it's supposed to be.
Suppose if we catch up to these people, we can at least ask them where the hell we are.
Hopefully.
well, hopefully they're not lizardmen because they're pretty vicious.
Oh, that wasn't a joke. What do you mean, lizard men?
You've
Like-
never seen a lizardman before.
No, I've never seen a lizard man before.
Yeah, try to keep your hands away from them.
I'll just look at my gloves. Pull my sleeves down a little bit. Shall we follow these trail then? See if we can
We should
figure out
go.
where we are.
It's dark at the moment, or
It's dim light. Everything's kind of diffused. It's like,
oh, yeah.
I mean, it feels like you're in a heavy fog or heavy mist, where the sun is kind of blocked out, but that light that normally would be there is kind of just spread out evenly in this very dim, on like a very cloudy day, in addition to like a mist or fog.
So if I cast a light on something, it's not really going to help, right?
I mean, it will help your immediate vicinity and will add to your
Okay.
ability to spot things for sure.
I'll cast light on the tip of my spear, so that when we walk forward, we can see the passage.
Okay. And when you cast light, it almost seems like that mist pulls back a little bit. Not only is the light adding to your general visibility, giving you a more local light source, it seems like the mist itself almost retreats from the light, giving you almost a clear area of that like 30 feet as you walk forward. Following
That's
these tracks, which Pios can do easily. Is there anything in particular you guys are looking to do, or anything you're prepping or whatever?
Yeah, I kind of want to, while we're walking, be comparing the scenery and everything to like stuff I've actually seen. Like, is this real? Am I actually at a place, or is this a magical illusion? Basically, that's what I'm trying to obtain. Because
Okay.
as far as I know, we were on a ship a minute ago.
Mm-hmm.
Am I just freaking the hell out?
Yeah. What role would you like to use? Like, what skill does Hendrix have that you think would help him ascertain the reality?
He's pretty perceptive, so I'd like to think that he was using his perception to compare sceneries and things what he's seen before, and a bit like the Inception game, something I felt. I know what it feels like.
Yeah, sounds good.
For a 21.
21. So everything feels very real, but yet at the same time feels off. Like, you know, you were just on a ship. You know that this also doesn't look like anything you've ever experienced or seen. But you're feeling like you felt the mist swirl around you. That kind of cool, soft, like almost damp feeling of being in a cloud, being in an area. So it is strange. Like, on one hand, you know that this isn't like a normal place, but you feel the ground underneath your feet. You feel, the air kind of shifting slightly. This very faint breeze, almost imperceptible, but you're able to pull that all in. Looking at your party, you can see details of them. You can spot the symbols that otherwise you would think, like, if this was some sort of strange illusion, might have been tough to find. So you're aware that something's off, but it certainly feels like you're there. If that kind of helps. I mean, it's a strange situation.
Not in Kansas anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Continuing along this path, it takes a little while. What could be minutes, could be, closer to an hour. It kind of starts to get tough to tell. There's not many visual markers that you come across. However, as you start to move forward, you start to see things, bones on the ground, a humanoid skull off to one side. The footprints seeming to get more frequent. In fact, there's other pathways that seem to be coming and joining this pathway and continuing forward. In the distance, you hear a shrieking sound of like a large bird screaming out as it swoops somewhere in the distance, somewhere in the fog, in this mist that surrounds you. And eventually, as you step forward and this light emanating from Lucius kind of drives back the mist a little bit, you begin to see an even more defined road structure. Kind of like stone sides that encapsulate this walkway, and the cracked, almost more natural looking earth area forming into like cobblestones of dark stone intermixed with humanoid skulls. As you step forward, this well trodden area, the stone worked down, kind of rubbed almost smooth in many areas over what could be millennia of creatures walking on it. And shortly you spot a hulking structure in the mist. a darkness that forms. It shows you that there is something that blocks there. And as you kind of look up, you see that there's definitely seems to be crenellations and towers and areas. You spot a light source in a tower that kind of helps add an extra dimension to this diffused light and a little bit more definition to a particular tower within this structure.
What do we want to do? Continue? Go somewhere else?
We can't stay here, can we? And we don't know where else to go. Any way's better than no way.
I would say approach the light, but be cautious. We don't know what's in here.
What does the bones and whatnot look like? And is there any like clothing as we walk through these areas?
So as you're walking on this more like road structure area, the bones, like the skulls that you start seeing, are actually embedded into the paving of this walkway. So there's like a dark flagstone almost looking thing, and then like a humanoid skull, and they're in different orientations. So sometimes you're stepping on the top of the head, sometimes there's like the face like looking up of a skulled creature. Some look human, some look more like an orc skull, some look like various species just kind of worked in here. As you have tried, walking forward here. There are a few bones that are like scattered around on the ground, but there doesn't seem to be any clothing or any cloth type material, no weaponry, no gear. It just seems to be like there are dropped skulls and bodies.
Any vegetation?
Looking around, it doesn't seem like there's any here. At least not so far as you've seen. There's the earth on the sides of the road is that like very dry, cracked dirt. Like it hasn't seen proper precipitation, hasn't been cultivated, and certainly hasn't seen any like plant life in a long time.
So any insects or anything of that nature?
Yeah, give me another survival roll.
Okay.
It's a very loud motorcycle goes by my house, sorry.
18.
Okay. There's not a ton, but you do spot here and there. There are some flies that seem to be kind of buzzing around. And you see a few like cockroach type creatures, tiny things, small enough, scurrying off. And if you kind of follow where they were going, you do see a carcass that seems to have a little bit of meat left on. Not much. But there's there's a few bones here and there. Not even a full carcass in this spot. But there's a few bones here and there, and they seem to be like working at picking this thing away.
So by examining that, does the insects look familiar? Or are they like not what I've seen?
They look similar, but yet a little different. So like with the cockroaches, their hue seems to be darker than ones that you're familiar with. Especially like you're used to forest type areas and things like that. So you're used to these like browns and like mild green beetles and things that would match the vegetation. These seem to be dark, almost ashen, and seem to fit in better with the landform down here. You've never seen these variants, but they're similar enough to ones that you've noticed that you're like, okay, I know that is a cockroach. I know that is a, fly.
Yeah.
The flies, as you look at them, they almost have this strange, like, eye structure that is shifted a little bit and seems to be adapted to allow more light, like, in, given the dimmer lighting setting here. And they seem to almost instinctively move to where the meat is more than, like, visually and tracking.
Mm-hmm. The insects here are weird.
This whole place is weird.
I agree.
This road is made out of skulls. Well, not entirely, but you can see them down there.
Yes. Yes, we should be cautious, what Lucius said, for sure, because we do not know. Something tells me this may not be what we think it might be.
Should I drop the light or maybe throw like a rock somewhere and see what comes out while we hide?
Where are we hiding?
I don't know, pick a spot. You're the expert.
I can hide, but you are big with shiny armor.
Thanks.
I guess let's continue down this road to the civilization, and
We're heading towards the light. Was that the decision?
I would assume yes.
To the lighthouse.
I do not see anything else out here, so maybe if we get up to the lighthouse, we can climb it and take a better view of our landscape.
So walking closer to the structure, and Lucius, did you just cover your light, or is it still glowing out?
It's still on. He didn't tell me to cover it, so...
As you step forward, you hear a guttural voice. Now, does anyone speak Infernal? No. And you hear the voice call out again. And then, as you step forward, or not, but you're at the edge of the light, you see a creature step forward. You see a, like, kind of dark-skinned creature with this, like, long, strange beard hanging down. Long, pointy ears, hair pulled back. Seems to be carrying a long glaive in one hand. Step forward and look over at you. And a very, like, broken common. Topsiders, what are you doing here? You come to play tribute.
What do you mean by tribute?
This is the Lord's domain. Pay tribute, or do we feed you to our pets? And you see stepping up two more figures that look almost identical to him. Various different scars.
What sort of tribute?
What do you have of value? We'll take many things. Offerings of food, magic, perhaps airships.
I'll drop my old plate armor on the floor from my bag.
Mundane items. How fun.
Fun, did you say? I pull out my wand of smiles. I hold this in front of him. I hope you have fun with this. I'll offer this as tribute.
All right. If you want to, you may proceed in. I'll let you offer your things to the master.
And as you say, we're Topsiders. Who's your master? What is his name? It'd be rude not to know it before I go and meet him.
Let me see if I have that here. As I come up with things. Did I have a name? Hold on 1 second, sorry.
Oh no. I asked a personal question.
Yes.
about NPC.
You broke him.
What's his favourite fear?
Well, this is what happens when I come up with things in the last second and have to jump forward some of the storyline elements. Gadar would be our master of this land.
Guitar.
Gadar. Gadar.
Gata. Okay.
You may mispronounce it at your own risk.
Gata. No. Very throat, like, yeah, I got
Yes,
it.
you gotta get the
What are his favorite type of offerings?
Babies are usually up there in his list of delicacies, but, magical items, souls, firstborn children, virgins. Just depends on his mood.
And your master, would he be able to get us topside again?
He's certainly working on it.
Hmm.
Maybe you can help him. That would be tribute in and of itself.
I give both of them an awkward look and slowly step back.
You may enter if you like. And kind of step aside, and you can see as the kind of mist swirls away from Lucius's light, and as he gestures, there seems two large doors start to swing open of like within this large castle type structure that seems to loom forward in front of you.
And is this the same building that we were walking towards, giving off light?
Yeah. There seems to be one tower in particular that has like a glowing light in it that you could see from the outside. And as the door opens, there seems to be these like dim, kind of like purplish flames in various like hanging cauldrons from parts of the roof within, casting this kind of dim purplish light across the interior of this building.
Really?
Friendly fellas, huh?
Yeah.
We try.
They called us Topsiders. Does that mean we're in the fog? We fell off the ship.
Yeah, something happened. Maybe it was a crystal sent us down there.
But that would mean
Hell, I might be down here.
Magic.
Shall we meet this master? Guitar.
We might have to.
Yeah, it's too bad I don't have any babies. So, shall we?
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess we. Is there like a main hall of this house, castle, tower?
If you like. Head forward. Take the right inside. Find the first large double doors to your left. And that will lead into the main gathering hall.
Okay. I look back at the other two, like,
We should go.
Yeah, start walking forward.
All right. You step within the doors, and two of these creatures grab the door and pull it shut, while the one that had stepped out and started speaking to you kind of just stands there staring at you guys as the door kind of slowly shuts, blocking your view to him. Find yourself in this dimly lit hallway of dark stone. And again, as you look into the walls, it seems to be there are skulls here and there. And in one spot, kind of off to the side in the direction the guy told you to be, there seems to be like almost an entire skeleton of like a giant sort of figure worked into the stonework, into the wall, slightly protruding, so you like the ribs kind of stick out a little bit, and the arms are kind of poised out, holding like a gigantic maul that's kind of sits on the ground, and the hands holding it just underneath the stone head of this giant hammer.
my God. How the hell did they... like, this is madness.
I think it's best to think about it.
Let's talk to this person. He seems to have the most power in the area. At least he can point us in the right direction.
Indeed.
But what's this about offerings, though? Like pledges? What was...
We might
I'm going to see if I can get away giving him this wand. I don't think it works, and I'll try and cast it on Pios.
Alright, Pios, roll. What is that?
Wisdom save?
Wisdom saving throw, I think. Or charisma. No, it's a charisma, because I think you've tried to...
Yeah, DC 10 charisma save.
Okay. Oh, nice.
It's the D&D Beyond curse, where it never rolls the way you want it to. Rolls high when you want it to roll low. Rolls low when you want it to roll high.
I rolled a 17.
Okay. Yeah.
So charismatic. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Poor Hendrix, as far as he knows, this one doesn't work.
It's not
never
work
worked.
at all.
Never managed to work.
Sold me a card, but
As he does that, Pios looks at him all stern. What?
nothing. Try and give it away.
You guys head in the direction of the hall, or there's also like a hallway that leads off in the other direction?
Are we being watched right now?
Currently, you don't see anybody. The hall seems to be very quiet.
I don't know about them, but Lucius would definitely just keep walking to where we were told, because he does not want to mess around here.
I'm looking. Look. What's around this corner? And just...
As you walk forward down this pathway, you see off to the left-hand side, as was stated, these large, like very, very large double doors, like floor to ceiling, probably 30 feet, and probably about as wide. It comes up and then arches to kind of a point that forms underneath the skull of a massive dragon head, kind of sticking out, looking down, but it's all just the skull of it. And then the archway, as you look at it, is actually the ribs of a massive dragon that has then been carved and etched into to form various faces. this kind of strange carving that depicts the scenes of demons overrunning humanoid creatures, slaughtering them. Like one area of it, there's like a village that seems to be on fire, and just all these different pictures of what seems to be demonic warfare etched into the ribs of a massive dragon. The skull looks down, and two large ruby eyes seem to almost glow faintly, as there's like two big gems stuck into the skull of this creature.
That's a double door that they told us to go through, yeah?
Yes, the hallway continues on further, and you actually see stairs that seem to start leading up, like down at the end of the hallway.
I do
I'll
believe...
do a quick 1-2, see if there's anybody watching us. And I'll just
hit Hendrix and point up. I think we are being watched.
don't get it. You mean the dragon hit?
Yes, I think it moved.
Put my hand back in my pocket. Rather be safe than sorry in a place like this. Shall we knock? Or just go in? I don't think I can move this door. Lucian.
I'll knock and see what happens.
You almost hear this loud echoing boom, boom, boom as you knock. Like it's almost like it reverberates across a fairly empty and stone or, some sort of room that would cause this kind of echoing to be amplified from your knocking on the door. As you knock on this structure, it feels like a dark wood of like some sort of tree that you've never really doesn't look very familiar at first, but then as you look, it's like whatever it was charred. Like it must have been massive, because it seems to be one, like each door is at least one solid piece of like wood, like it was planed off of some sort of massive tree, but then has been charred to be black and then like kind of sanded down, and still somehow maintaining this solid structure. Two large kind of like handles are within it. Each one seems to be formed into like a clawed dragon sort of claws that have been cast in like a dark, like a bronze sort of material. There does not seem to be any answer, at least not that you can hear.
I guess I try to open it then.
Okay. So you push on this door. It starts to slowly slide open. It doesn't seem to take a ton of force, but it doesn't seem to matter how hard you pushed. It just slowly, that side just slowly starts to slide open silently. Looking in, you see like a stone floor of a dark stone, similar to what you've seen elsewhere, but like the entire area here is smoothed out. There doesn't seem to be cracks or grout worked in to this room as you spot it. As the door slides open, there seems to be a set of stairways that kind of like lead up to a dais with a large, like massive throne set upon there. This one formed what it seems to be the lower half of the dragon's jaw, along with other bones. Most of them seem to be draconic bones, but there seems to be other bones worked in to make like a huge bone throne sitting up there. There is a, like, on either side of it, flanking these larger braziers of like this purple flame, similar to that which you saw in the hallways to illuminate. This casting a larger light. There seems to be off to one side a large mirror in like one of those freestanding mirrors that has big, large, bronze-looking framework to hold this mirror up, and it kind of has a slight swivel that it can be into it. And around the edges are demonic runes. And that's what you can kind of see just from the doorway as you push it open.
You guys coming?
Yeah. I'm shimmying behind him. This mirror, you said, how big was it?
This particular mirror seems to be about 15 feet high and about 10 feet wide at its widest point in this large, like, oval structure. It's encased with bronze and a bronze-like structure to make feet that hold it up. It's kind of like a T at the bottom sort of thing like that the mirror can swivel on, and joined by two of these that are then joined on the ground to kind of give it a sturdy structure to hold it up.
And that in relation to the throne, what is next to it?
It is down
it.
on the floor and kind of like in front of it, but like off to your right or the throne's left.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to be much else, at least from the doorway, that you can spot within this room.
Is there a balcony above, or is it just straight walls to the top?
If you kind of peer in, it seems the roof kind of has a slow slope that comes up, and there seems to be a large, like, circular dome area that seems to be open to the sky. Well, the mist that you can see above it. But there doesn't appear to be a direct, like, balcony. It just seems to be this, like, opening and that spot. Behind the throne, you kind of do spot there seems to be a long purple, like, tapestry that seems to be formed, and it seems to be this large horned head demonic figure, like, worked in the tapestry, like, formed, like, just basically like the large face of this demonic figure worked into the cloth.
I'll walk forwards. Well, walk into the room at least.
Okay. As you guys walk into the room, there seems to be two alcoves. You can kind of see now that you're past the doorway. There seems to be an alcove off to your left. It's very dark back there, hard to see what's in it. And an alcove off to the right, behind where the mirror is, which that was kind of blocking your view in that direction as you guys worked in. But kind of just glancing around, other than that, it seems to be fairly unadorned. You don't see many things at all, except for in the floor space, there seems to be a patch of blood that has dried. Just kind of, but it doesn't seem like anyone bothered to clean it up. There just seems to be like an area where pooled up blood had formed and now has dried and starting to crack as whatever it is kind of let it go.
How big of a blood pool? Like, is it like humans' size worth of blood, like splatter, or a bigger animal?
Yeah, why don't, for the sake of making people roll things, why don't we get a medicine check?
Oh, medicine.
Yep. I'll pick everyone's strong suit here.
For a 17.
Very nice. You've seen dead bodies. You've caused a few, I'm sure. It would seem to be probably about the equivalent of like a human or humanoid body, but that was let to just like bleed out.
Okay.
So not like a quick splash, but like if a major artery was cut and it just was able to kind of
just
spread out and drain out. Yeah.
Okay. These alcoves. Are we the only people in the room right now? Can I hear or see anybody else?
Give me a perception check. And how far in are we moving? You see this room seems to be pretty large, at least 60 feet by 60 feet long by like 40 feet wide. Then there's these alcoves that are hard to see due to the darkness there.
I guess I'll walk in. I'll take point. About 25 feet.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to have my Cloak of Elvenkind's hood up.
Okay. So you're moving in stealthily.
Yeah, kind of staying within the shadows if at all possible.
Yeah, I mean, give me a stealth check. The whole area seems to be pretty shadowy in general. The main light is from Lucius and these purple flames coming from these large brass containers. Or bronze
Since the way
containers.
Lucius is, I'm gonna be off just enough to the side where like Lucius is the center of attention.
Okay.
So I rolled a 27.
Okay. Cool. Lucius, is there anything you're working on or doing as Hendrix steps forward and takes point into this room?
I'll keep walking, but I'll walk a few paces behind him so that way, they don't see him. And if anything, when they see the light, they'll automatically see me. Like, I'm not going to stealth.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, that works.
Just for shits and giggles, I rolled a stealth roll as well. 21.
Okay. So you're kind of moving to the front, kind of staying out of Lucius's light as best you can. Stepping quietly, softly, and it almost accentuates the sound of Lucius's feet, his like crystalline armored feet clanking on these stones, which isn't louder than normal, but just because you two are so quiet that Lucius almost sounds like his footsteps are echoing in this hallway. Looking off, you kind of spot something off in the left-hand alcove. The darkness seems to envelop something in there, but there seems to be, at least from what you can tell, like some sort of stake that, like, this large, like, probably 10-foot high piece of structure, whether it's stone or wood, hard to tell from the distance, but it seems to be embedded into the ground there. And there seems to be some sort of figure that's attached to it, like at the ground, it seems. Whether it's alive or dead, it's hard to ascertain from your distance.
I'm getting a crucifix sort of scarecrow vibe from this person.
Yeah, kind of. So you have like this stone pillar, and then there seems to be like at the base of it, it seems to be like slumped up down against it, some sort of creature. But again, from the distance. So it's like whatever it is either just leaning up against this stone or is attached to it somehow. Not necessarily like held up, but like you can tell pressed up against this structure. Doesn't seem to be a large creature. Wouldn't match the size of the throne that's within this room, which as you get closer seems to be probably about 20 feet wide, and just the base of it 20 feet up, and then the backing of this probably goes about 40 feet up into the air.
Okay, well, I think it's massive. I'll do a little like hand action, assuming that Pius knows exactly where I am. Just like this one guy over there. Be careful.
My passive perception is 20, so I see all.
Yeah, you catch it. Luckily, you use similar hand signals in your lodge.
We use some thief cants.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
never been used before.
I definitely speak thieves' cants.
I'll proceed like a little bit closer into the room, like giving it back a pile. Lucius, like, giving him like the "what are we doing here" sort of vibe. Okay. I'll continue walking closer into the center of the room.
Towards the
Stepping
alcove, or
around
just
the bloods.
Yeah. Okay. So just like straight down the middle right now.
Just pretty much straight down the middle. Obviously taking a nice arc around the bloodstain.
Yeah. Yeah, you get closer and closer to the stairwell area. Make your way around the bloodstain, and the room still seems to be very quiet, very calm. There doesn't seem to be much going on. Give me if anyone who wants perception.
Yeah.
Well, a 19.
21.
19.
Yeah, wow. All very perceptive. As you move slowly closer, you can kind of start to hear kind of like the raspy breathing of whatever it is off in that left alcove. But that seems to be the only sound that you can really hear from within this area.
As far as I'm aware, that's the only thing in this room. I assume I'll look back at Lucian, point towards that area, and just start walking towards it.
If anything bad happens, take cover.
Slowly walking forward, you start to see take shape a draconic figure that seems to be tied up like humanoids, so dragonborn it seems to be, and their arms are pulled back behind, and seems you can spot the areas of chains that seem to be attached to this pillar about halfway up the pillar to allow them to kind of slump down. As you get closer, you start to see a very familiar kind of yellow-skinned dragonborn creature. Nails seem to be long, skin dry and ragged.
This Karina.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely seems to be.
You need to unlock her chain.
I'll call out her name, Karina, as I start picking up my pace to go towards her.
And slowly, her eyes kind of flutter open. Blinks, looking over, like, in disbelief. She looks over. What? What are you doing here? How did you get here? Very soft, very raspy. Her lips look dry and unchapped. Definitely looks more emaciated than when last you saw her, which was probably only a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. I'll pull out my water skin and just hold it to her mouth, and it's like, there's no need for that right now. We'll talk about that. We need to get you out of here. Quick. Drink some water.
Take some drink as you pour some water in. Kind of cough a little bit. Kind of go to reach up, and then her chains kind of lock in. You guys have to be careful. How did you... You didn't bring a ship down here, did you?
No, but we do need a ship to get out. Have you heard? What? I'm assuming you're not the only one in this room. Well, that uses this room.
Uses, no. They come here. I think he's out right now. This Gadar guy.
I heard about him, the master of the house, or
Yeah.
as such. Right. Let's try and get these chains off you. I can't leave you here.
Yeah, what is it? I'm
Give him
gonna
guidance.
follow the chains, see where they lock onto.
Yeah, it seems that they are manacled at the wrists, and then the chains themselves are like embedded into this like 10-foot high stone pillar that's there.
Are they locked around her wrist?
Yeah, they seem to be manacled and locked there.
You work on one side and I'll work on the other.
I'll race you.
Okay.
All right. I mean, go ahead and just for the sake of rolling again, give me thieves' tools checks, or you can roll any proficiency.
What is thieves' tools? Is it just like what? Sleight of hand?
So yeah, if you don't have expertise in thieves' tools or whatever, it's just
I have proficiency, but I don't have expertise.
So just roll any dexterity-based skill you have on your chart that would have proficiency and not necessarily expertise.
So you said I could. Oh.
So it would be
Okay.
dexterity
22 then.
plus proficiency plus your d20. So yeah, at 22, you're able to get it. It's kind of a strange lock, and as you undo it, you feel this almost spark of magical energy. And she seems to flex her arm as she pulls that arm free. What did you get, Pios?
19.
You have a little bit more trouble with it, but eventually you get it. And once again, you feel that spark of magical energy almost like release as the manacle comes free. And her hand comes out, and she kind of stretches. My things, there should be a chest against the wall back there. Points behind her, deeper into the alcove, which seems to go about 10 more feet. I've been here so long, I feel so weak. I don't know what use will be.
We are here to get you out, I think.
Can I do an insight check on it?
Yeah, feel free.
Just because I'm like, not going to get stung.
Yeah.
Does it sound like her? For a total of a 10.
I mean, you didn't know her for long, but from what you do know, it seems like her. It seems to fit.
I'll go over to the chest. Give it the traditional, is it a mimic kick?
Actually, Hendrix, you do have advantage on that roll if you wish to use it. Shadow Soldier PR gave it to you.
What's that on the inside? Oh,
It's up to
why
you.
not?
You have an advantage you can use given by chat.
I used it. I got lower.
Okay.
It's still a 10.
Yeah.
Thank you, though, Shadow Soldier.
You kick it, and she glances up at you. I understand. I don't think I would trust anything either. I hardly trust for you guys, but, you know, even death, I think, would be better than staying here too long. Been 100 and something days. I lost track.
You got any idea how we can get out of here?
I haven't seen much. I came through that mirror. She kind of glances and points towards the mirror across the room.
Can you reactivate it?
I don't know how. My magic is... She pulls out her hand, and a little bit of like spark of energy seems to slowly form. Well, I might be coming back. I don't have a lot, but
okay.
Yeah, I can do some things.
Open the chest, get the stuff out.
Okay, yeah. You see in there seems to be like a scale mail armor shield, a battle axe that seems to be very nicely wrought. It's kind of engraven with various like arcane sigils, and her rod that seemed to be a very like the thing she used to carry around in her tail quite frequently.
Yeah. I present her with her stuff. Are you gonna be able to move on your own?
You know, if you guys carry that stuff for now. I've been pretty weak.
Are you hurt?
Not exactly. I mean, been down here for a long time, and they only feed me a little bit, so I'm more weak than physically hurt.
I'm gonna grab her, like...
Oh, thanks. She'll kind of put an arm around your shoulders to kind of like help you as best you can, but you can tell she seems a lot lighter than probably someone of her general build and size should be. And so it's not very hard for you to lift her. Seems to have lost a lot of weight. Her clothes...
We definitely gotta treat you when we get out of here.
That would be awesome. Just be careful. I don't know what they have planned for me, but there was a group. They've been one by one, it seems, sending something. These guys come in and then they cut their throats. There's been like 4 or 5 I've seen do it since I got here.
That's not good.
It's weird. They all have these like strange collars, and then they come out here, and they're this Gadar guy tells them it's time, and then they cut their throats. I've never seen anything like it, and I was a problem solver. That's what I did, and no, it's weird.
Do we want to try that mirror, or do we just want to try to find another exit?
We can try. Like I said, I don't know how it worked. He reached through somehow and grabbed me and pulled me in, and I wasn't expecting it. It caught me off guard.
Put my hands onto the glass, the mirror. Push against it a bit.
You feel a slight vibration, and you start to see runes spark up upon the outside of the frame. And it almost starts to shimmer. And soon you see a form gain shape within. And you spot what looks to be a human figure, dark-haired. Let me find him in here so I can describe him. Where was he? Oh, that's not him. Oh, okay. Anyways, we'll go here then, because I have him. His hair is kind of pulled back, slick in a ponytail. His skin seems to be pretty pale. He's got on like a purple that seems to be similar to the color of the banners behind, with like silver trim worked on it. as you see him, you spot Professor Silas Crow, standing there in the mirror on the other side, looking in at you guys. And who might you be? He doesn't seem... Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
I want to try to see if I can pull him.
All right. So you reach out and you hit glass. It doesn't seem to go through for you. Give me an insight check, anyone who would be kind of trying to spot.
I'm facing the glass, so another 10.
11.
Okay. Just, he doesn't seem to really recognize you guys as he looks over at you.
Oh, I got an advantage. I wanna use
Yeah. Go for it.
17.
All right. Moreover than just him not seeming to recognize you, he seems to carry himself differently. You remember this kind of mild-mannered professor who would kind of shrink up and was scared of everything around him. This one stands with confidence and like this assurance, this air and charisma of a leader of that kind of advance. You've noticed this sort of characteristic in many of the commanding officers of your lodge, and he carries himself very different than the professor that you knew before.
I think I would say, you're not fooling anybody. Who are you?
Oh. Have you figured out the use of these? And he taps this collar on his neck.
I'm guessing you took over his body?
Well, he wasn't using it to its full potential, now was he?
Nah, he was a coward.
I am Sadrian. I have been in service of the Lord Gadar for quite some time. You must be those fools that were chasing after the professor. I'm sure you can find some of these of your own somewhere around there. The Lord keeps them. Last I checked, there's a chest behind his throne. Put one on. You might enjoy it. So?
No.
Oh. Maybe not as stupid as you look.
No way I'm giving my body up to anybody like you.
Imagine unlocking the potential. Take the knowledge and skill of someone who's been around for a few thousand years. Put it into a fresh new body, all ready for our use.
The fact you've got to move bodies just shows that all that years of experience means nothing.
Perhaps. This body is not fully acclimated. This air up here, I think, is thinner somehow. Not as good, but we'll make do. Slowly and surely, we'll bring more of my friends, and eventually we can bring the Lord himself up.
It seems like it's going to take a long time doing it. One necklace at a time, though.
Oh, yes. Well, you know, we don't need to bring everyone up. Just a few key people from time to time.
Still, though, these necklaces can't be easy to come by.
Well,
You just told it.
had time. Plenty of time.
So, what about someone like you? Must have had. I was referred to as a topsider by a. So people must have visited down here before.
A few. Most don't survive the trip. But we know.
You say
a
most.
few.
So a few have.
Your friend there is one, though didn't get down in a traditional form. From time to time, one of your ships will crash. Sadly, so far, we've not been able to fully reproduce that technology. But now I will soon have a fleet to my disposal. That will help.
That's it's interesting. So there's no way for us to get back up. I'd love to talk in person.
I think you're trying to find me as it is. Eventually, I'm sure you'll figure it out. I'm not sure how you got there. But, you know. It is an interesting twist of things, me coming here and you going there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure how we got here either, to be honest.
Well, that would be an interesting mystery indeed, but sadly, not in my purview of investigation. Now, if you want, I know there is an island that had descended, and so there is an area where your people are trying to come aboard. Eventually, we'll break that resistance, and we'll gain all of their resources.
The front line, of course.
I mean, from where you are, it's probably I don't know, 4-year hike, but, you know, you might be able to find some sort of transportation.
I start looking at the mirror again. Like, all these runes. But these ones lit up, and then you appeared.
Well, I thought the Lord was calling me, but apparently one of you guys activated it.
We could be the Lord. I'll call you.
Oh, child, it's funny.
If anything, I'm funny.
Well, I guess that is it then.
I'll cut my thumb on my knife and just flick the blood at the mirror. Like, does it have any effect? So I'm like,
there seems to be a splatter of blood upon the mirror.
So I'm out of ideas, guys.
I'm gonna kick the mirror.
He just kind of chuckles as the mirror kind of sways a little bit. Well, this has been fun. And who are you guys, by the way? I told you my name. Was that nice?
Thank you for that.
And you?
I'm already walking away.
We're the show wardens. And yeah, turn around and walk away.
All right, then. And you, little badger?
I look at him curious. It is nice to see your face.
Well, luckily, time will be on your side if you're truly stuck down there.
I cast minor image into, or minor illusion into the mirror.
Okay.
Does it do anything?
You kind of see various... you see one of the runes light up a little bit. And he smiles. Oh, his sad little magic. It's okay, though. Perhaps someday you'll figure it all out. And he puts his hand up, and your side of the mirror goes back to being a mirror. And you just see yourself staring into it.
Lucius is gonna search his pockets until he finds that compass. Where does it point toward?
It spins wildly at first, and then seems to settle and pointing towards where the throne is, or at least in that direction.
I don't know if this is gonna work, guys, but let's follow the compass and see where it leads.
Before that, I'll go to that chest where all the collars are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a jar of dirt.
I've got a jar of dirt.
All right. Yeah, you see this kind of golden-looking chest that's probably about 2 feet wide and 1 foot high. And as you pull it open, there seems to be about half a dozen collars laid out in there.
Not a bad idea. We should take some to Sagranus.
That was my train of thought. Are they all identical?
They all to be slightly different, and if you analyze the runes upon them, they all seem to have slight variations to them. They're very similar, but just different enough that you can tell that they have some variations. They all seem to be made of various different materials as well. Some seem to be pure gold. Some seem to be a mixture of various forms of,
You just say one was made of pure gold?
Yeah. At least it seems to be from what you can spot. Like there's... Oh, the exterior, you can tell, seems to be of gold. Some are like a mixture. One is like, seems to be an obsidian ring with silver inlays to make like the runes stuff pop out a little bit more. One's more bronze, like bronze and gold. So they're just half a dozen, and they're all variants of one's like ivory, or seems to be like an ivory.
Well, I'm thinking if we'll take them all. Like, even if they've got spare, they're at least delaying them to get the spares. Not putting any of them on, though. How heavy are these things? Like, can I easily carry them all?
Yeah. Each one maybe weighs like a pound. So it's not like, yeah. It's like a jeweled sort of like it, or some sort of metal necklace sort of thing, but that like fits almost like a choker onto them.
I collect them all together then, and put them in my bag. As I thought they were going to be a lot bigger than that.
Yeah, no problem.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, they're just basically the ones that would fit around a humanoid neck. None seem to be much larger than what would fit around your own neck.
Just before we go, I guess, like, I look at the other two and go, do you want to carve anything into this throne? Just to say we were here. Like, be like Hendrix, Pius, Lucian was here.
I do not.
And then whatever year it is.
I do not
If it wasn't that we have a lady in here, I would pee on his throne. But
I suggest we not use our real names.
Okay. I start carving a H. But just for Hendrix. I pull out my hatchet and scratch in a H at the base of one of the legs of the throne.
Mm-hmm.
What is a throne chair made out of?
Pretty much all bone. There's seems to be mostly dragon bone, from what you can tell, but there seems to be a few other bones worked in there that, at a quick glance, you can't really tell.
Is there any wood nearby?
It seems to be that the pillar that Karina was attached to was made out of wood, but other than that, there doesn't seem to be a lot of kind of wood open and available.
Okay. I'm gonna look at both of them. I'm gonna cause a little distraction so we can head to where we need to go with not as many people looking for us. And I'm gonna light my hand on fire and shoot a firebolt at the pillar.
Okay.
Oh, right now. Okay. Let's go, Karina. Let's go.
Yeah.
I guess there's only one door into this room.
So far that you've noticed, but as you're behind this throne area, you spot
I look
that
behind the tapestry.
behind the tapestry there seems to be another very large door, but that was pretty much fully blocked from line of sight by this.
Let's go through this way.
I agree.
We go through the hidden tapestry door.
Mhm.
If Lucian's following.
Yeah. He would also, as he's carrying her, he would have the compass in the other hand.
Yeah.
So you've got compass in one hand, her in between the others, and you threw a fireball as well.
Well, when I threw the firebolt, I didn't have the thing in my hand. I just... And then...
Yeah. You like
Let's go.
put it down and then blast and then picked it back up. Sure. No problem.
Okay, I guess I'll try and push this door open. Does it open as easily? Well, with as little resistance as the last one.
Yeah, it seems to swing open fairly easily as you push upon the door. Kind of this slow swinging out into the room beyond. And as you go in, it seems to be there seems to be like a large circular hole that drops down in the middle of the room. And scattered about, there seems to be carcasses and bodies strewn across the floor. You see in the back corner, there seems to be a wall that has like a cage worked into the wall itself. But other than the hole in the wall there doesn't seem to be any other entrance or exit. Like the wall just has the cage in it. There's no other doors that lead in or out of this.
No, when you say cage, is it like a cage door, or is it like a box cage, like we can see that there's no way out?
It's like worked into the wall. There seems to be iron bars there with a doorway, like cage door into it. And as you look into this area, as the light starts to flood in from Lucius, you start to see pale figures within the cage itself. Humanoid figures starting to kind of get up and grab onto the bars and look through, kind of trying to peer out from the depths.
Yes, ready for this?
You hear voices start to call out in this guttural, deep kind of tone that doesn't seem familiar to any of you. Then you hear out another voice come out in this kind of softer, more melodic, that you would recognize as an Elvish tone. Does anyone speak Elvish?
I do.
I don't.
Okay. So, you would hear called out in Elvish, "Hello? Who are you?"
Who are you? Back in Elvish.
"I'm Galmor. Galmor Greyspire. Or at least that was my family name, I guess. We don't use them much these days. Who are you? What are you doing here? You one of the servants?"
We're the Shield Wardens.
Sorry. I don't know what that means. You see this kind of like pale-skinned elven figure kind of push forward in the crowd, kind of come up to the bars, pale like white hair flowing down as he grabs hold of the bars.
You need saving.
They're the enemy.
Enemy? There's no friends here. There's never has been.
Do you need saving?
And to do what? I mean, sure, open the cage. Death on the run is better than slowly being fed to that creature.
If we let you guys out, are you guys just gonna turn on us?
No, we won't do any harm to you.
I'm gonna look at the two of them. Let's jump in there. I'll make sure that we land safe.
Well, so there's a walkway that goes around this pit, but there's a large pit that seems to just drop into an abyss. These creatures, these humanoids, are in a cage on the far side of the room from where you guys open the door, but you can walk around, like, so there's like a small, like 10-foot wide maybe pathway that goes around the outskirts of this large hole in the ground, but they're in a cage that's up against the wall.
With Featherfall, would we be able to like glide our way down there if we jumped or not?
If you want to go down, what I'm saying is they're on the same level as you.
Oh,
across the way.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
there's down in the hole.
There's a large pit.
Well,
sorry, I'm trying to do all this.
Yeah, I gotcha. I mean, I guess we can head their way and go from there. You guys, I don't think they'll attack us, but just keep your eyes open. If they do attack us, don't hesitate.
I assume you're speaking common now, yeah? Not still in Elvish.
Yeah, no.
Because I've just been standing there watching you guys talk to them.
Yeah. I would tell you they seem like prisoners. I don't feel right leaving them in here, so he says he's not going to attack us, so if he does, just don't hesitate.
I was more thinking they would cause a distraction so we could get away, but that is fine too. We can save them.
We can at least let them out. Maybe they know the way to a front line. I'm thinking if we can get there somehow, we might be able to get back above.
Indeed. Let us go now. And Pius kind of runs on off stealthily.
And as you kind of get closer, you spot they all seem to be in fairly tattered clothes. Many don't seem. They just seem to have like basically like torn pants on, no shirt on. They don't seem to have any gear. In various stages of like malnourishment.
Okay. I'm going to start on the locks.
Thank you, friend, he says in Elvish.
Can you speak with the others?
Yes.
I'm going to drop some rations in there for him. Well, I'll hand it to him instead.
Oh my gosh. And I'll take them and start passing them around, and the groups there kind of almost like scramble to fight over it, and he'll turn and say something in a very guttural tone as he breaks a piece off of the one he held onto and hands the rest on, and they start to like kind of glance at him all wary, but then they start to like break off pieces and pass it around so that they're like breaking each ration into like multiple portions so they all get something.
Why don't you tell them, he'll tell them in Elvish that there's survival in numbers. If they don't kill each other, we should be able to get out of here.
He turns and says something in his sharp, short, guttural speech. I'm not sure what good, as he says in Elvish back to you. letting us free will do, but I thank you nonetheless.
Well, I don't feel right leaving you guys behind, so let's see what we can do. If we can escape together, we'll try to help you in the surface. That's the least we can do.
Surface. What is your roll pass?
26.
Yeah, no problem. Easy. Like, the lock doesn't even seem to be all that intricate. It's just seems to be there to keep them from wandering around. As you crack it open, the door kind of springs free, and a bunch of them kind of like rush and like push at the cage to come out. And Galmore will slowly walk forward. Thank you, sir, but this surface you speak of, it's a myth. It doesn't exist.
We come from the surface.
This was the surface. This is the surface. This is
No.
world.
Above.
Above.
There's flying ships in the world above.
So the rumors are true?
Now, do you want to come or do you want to stay down here?
If you have a way to get us out, if you have one of these mystical ships they speak of, then take us. Let's go. Let's fly out of here.
I'm gonna give him a dagger and I'm gonna tell him, don't make me regret this.
Thank you, friend.
I am dubious about that. Can I do an insight check?
Yeah.
Like,
I cocked my eye, thinking to myself, that was my dagger.
15.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah, you don't sense any sense that he means you harm or that he's trying to deceive in any way. He is kind of surprised, and you can spot him looking at the blade, which doesn't seem to be anything all that spectacular in your eyes, but he almost like eyes this with like an amazement, like this was a magical weapon of some sort in his eyes. Like, it is the finest piece of craftsmanship he's seen.
I'll cast light on it too.
He blinks, and his eyes kind of, he shrinks back a little bit. Oh, wow. This is a kingly gift. Thank you, sir. Only few of our kind have blades of true metal.
Well then, you have any clue how to get out of this room once we go down there?
The hole, I don't know. Only seen the Lord go down there. Other than that, I've never been there. I came through the front doors, unwillingly, of course, but I was captured and brought here.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna tie up my rope to like the nearest thing to the hole, and then see what
When
we
you
go
say you were
from.
captured and you're not from you've never heard of the above ground, you've lived here your whole life in the shadows.
400 years, I believe, is, give or take, depends on. I spent some time in one of their camps working, and I lost some track there, and then they brought me here. There's alcoves of us, the various humanoids that have lived here for the 3,000 years or so since the demons took over.
So, are they still about, or are they in hiding now, these clusters of humanoids?
Well, most of them have been found, but they allow many of us to continue to survive there, to reproduce and expand. We provide sport, work, and sometimes food.
And are there any of these settlements close by? Any of these clusters?
There's one, probably about 5 miles or so from here. There's a mountain range, actually, but one in particular, furthest outlier one, There's an old dwarvish kingdom that seems to have held its gates for the most part, but the demons know we're there.
Okay. The Dwarvish Mountains. And if we wanted to find it, would we need a guide, or is there directions you can give us?
Well, depends on the time of day, I suppose. If you find, well, from this castle, if you're facing the front gates, you would head that way, and he kind of puts his hand out to indicate, like, a direction if you're facing the front gates, off to the left and forward a little bit. It's we don't have really directions. We use landmarks mostly. I could show you if you want.
Do you know how long it takes to get there?
Well, it depends on how quickly you move. 5 miles or so is, not too bad. It's, an hour or so at a moderate pace. A couple more if you're moving quietly, or quite a bit less if you're running hard.
We met someone else that said there's another settlement, but it will take 4 years to get to.
Oh, another myth, another thing, yes. They say that in some island descended to the earths down here, and a group are trying to free us from the mists. Believe that when I lay my eyes upon it. Every couple hundred years or so I hear rumors.
But this Dwarven Tower stronghold is for real.
Yes.
Can I
Yes.
roll insight?
Yeah, feel free. Hendrix, I forgot you don't speak Elvish, right? All right. Do you speak other languages?
Me too.
Yeah.
Dwarvish and Common.
He'll see you kind of looking a bit confused from time to time, and he'll shift into a Dwarvish. Do you understand this, sir?
Ah.
Anyone else speak
Yeah.
Dwarvish?
Nope.
Well,
I rolled a nat 20.
Just me then.
Yes. I rolled a nat 20 for 22.
yeah. He's telling you the truth. You can't spot any deception in him. He is relieved, but also you can sense this feeling of doesn't want to get his hopes up too high.
Yeah. Definitely.
I think we should get out of here. We talked enough. That and we need to get Karina somewhere safe to recover.
Yes. Let's. I would not go down the hole myself. He'll say in Elvish, then he'll look at Hendrix and say it in Dwarvish. Sorry, I don't speak whatever your tongue is, but I can do my best this way, or if you guys want to relay so I'm not switching between two languages each time.
No, you're doing fine, don't worry.
Yeah, that's fine. We don't need to jump in the hole. Why don't you lead us to this village, and we'll make sure if we meet anything on the way there to take care of it.
Yes. Were there guards on your way in?
Yes, there was. How many did we see?
3.
Right.
Well, they're not going to let us run away. So,
We will take care of them.
all right. Well then, and he turns to the group, utters several demonic lines, and turns to you. They will follow you all. And then he turns to Hendrix. They will follow. Thank you, friend. Thank you.
Okay.
And I think with that, let us take a short break. And we'll come back in probably about the top of the hour, plus or minus a couple of minutes here or there. And
Yeah, sounds good.
we'll continue. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here. there's a few advantages dropping in, so do appreciate those who are joining us live, helping the party out as they explore this kind of strange detour on their path. And we'll see how things go for them. So we'll be back shortly. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us for yet another XP Guild show. If you are enjoying this, please do us a favor, click like, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to be notified when our next show goes live. Feel free to drop us a comment. We'd love to hear from you guys, hear your thoughts on the show, or anything else you want to talk about. I'd like to take a quick moment to say thank you to our friends over at Hero Forge, a Sky Castle LLC product. We are not sponsored by them, but if you're looking for great custom miniatures, check out HeroForge.com. They've been so kind to let us use their art, as many of the miniatures and artwork that we use come from their website with their permission. However, they have not reviewed our content, and so what we do does not necessarily represent their views or beliefs. Again, thank you to Hero Forge. Now, let's get back to the show. Welcome back, everyone. When last we left off, the group had just freed a group of prisoners. A ragtag assortment of mostly pale-skinned humans with a couple of these pale-skinned elves with white hair. Seems to be about 20 of these individuals in this group. All now willingly following the party as they make towards the door that exits back out. What are you guys up to? What's the game plan?
Pius, do you want to be our eyes and sneak off ahead?
I can
make sure we're not walking into somebody.
Indeed. And yeah,
Awesome.
I throw up the cloak of Elvenkind and walk with my boots of Elvenkind and sneak on up there.
Right. Roll me that.
Probably, how far is your dark vision?
Mine, 16.
So I'm gonna sneak like 50 feet ahead.
All right.
That's cool. I've got a message up so soft, and I'll just keep sending you like a, how's it going? Give me an update, and then you can respond to it.
All right. Give me some ridiculous number, apparently.
You've got advantage in the chat.
Doesn't need it because I automatically have advantage and stealth.
Oh,
And I don't think I can roll higher than what I rolled. So I don't need that advantage. I rolled a nat 20, so
Okay.
29.
All right. Pios almost melds into the shadows as he moves forward, kind of disappearing ahead of you. You only know he's there, Hendrix, really, because you kind of kept an eye on where he was and could kind of catch that very subtle shift in textures between his cloaked figure and the stark, harsh walls around. You move forward, Pios, exiting the chamber behind the tapestry, stepping forward. Is there anything in particular you were aiming to do as you make towards
Just making sure that the coast is clear and moving to the direction that we need to go to get the hell out of this place.
All right.
And signaling behind me to move forward safely and quietly.
send you a message, Cantrick. Is it safe to follow? Over and out. I look back at Lucian like he's dead. He hasn't responded.
Oh boy.
Do I have to say it out loud?
You can whisper it.
It's a whisper.
Yes.
I hear it. as if it was next to my ear. So, oh, creepy. He whispered it back. Oh, come on, guys, let's go. Shh.
You know, yeah, I mean, he talks to rocks. Come on.
All right. Slowly heading out, you see the 3 guard figures that you had seen at the door are now standing in the room looking at this pillar. It seems like they have just arrived as they're speaking in guttural tones back and forth to each other as they kind of stand there glancing around, starting to search the area of the room.
So, where are they in position of where we're at? Like,
So there's the throne and the tapestry. So depending, like as you make your way forwards, I'd assume you'd probably like kind of move up behind the throne and using that as cover, as there's not much else. And peeking through some of the bones of the throne, you're able to spot them. So ahead of the throne and off to now the right side, since you're looking back towards the doorway, is the area where the wooden pillar that is now aflame and the smoke rising and kind of drifting up through that opening in the ceiling of this space. They're probably about 20 feet past where the throne is. So 25 feet away from you, and they're kind of spread out about 10 feet in between each of them, but they're like looking around now, and one starts slowly walking like towards the mirror.
Okay. And I don't see a way that we can sneak past them.
It seems to be tough. There's not much in this room other than there's 2 alcoves, one of which you had dived into to find Karina in.
Well, my thought is I could probably sneak past them, but the group cannot.
Yeah, you're thinking there's 20 prisoners that don't look in the best of health. The chances of them getting out of here quietly are slim to none, unless there's some way that these guards go somewhere else before checking behind the throne to find the open door and the prisoners.
How far away is the door itself to get out of here?
So the room was about 60 feet long. Okay. So you got about 40 feet past where you're currently hiding to get to the exit door.
Okay. So
there's the throne. There's probably about 20 feet between you and these individuals. About 20 feet beyond them would be where the door is. And there's probably like 20 feet behind you.
Yeah. Okay, so I need to move 10 more feet then. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to try to move 10. Actually, wait a minute. Oh my God. Don't I have invisibility? I do have Is my invisibility still...
I don't know. I didn't know you had spells.
Well, hold on. Let me see. I thought I had... Yeah, I do. I'm a ranger now. So...
Oh, yeah. I don't think you get invisibility first level ranger.
No, I can't remember. Oh, I'm thinking of stupid tonight's character.
Yeah. I was like, I know your other character's got all sorts of crazy things.
Okay, but I do have one thing that I do use often, so which I'm trying to use right now. Okay, so I'm going to stealthily move in the shadows 10 feet.
All right.
If I can get 20 feet, that would be awesome. But they're 20 feet away from me, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're also actively looking around this room, so
Yeah. Is there a pillar nearby?
there's no pillars. There's
Okay.
the only structure, really, other than these two alcoves, is the throne and the stairs upon which it is.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Using my cloak of elven kind, I'm gonna try to blend in with the actual wall itself, and move as quietly as I can. And yeah,
Okay.
because once I get there, I'm casting a spell.
All right. Why don't you give me another stealth check?
Okay.
And what is everyone else up to?
Okay. Yep. I'm gonna just go for it. Not gonna use the other advantage. 27.
Okay. And what is everyone else up to while he's sneaking forward? As Galmore is kind of standing behind you guys, looking to you two for direction. And everyone else is standing behind him, looking at him for direction.
I think Lucius would hand him oh crap, what's her name? Karina over. Just tell her if he could wash her, maybe give her some food, and start heading out the entrance to see what's going on.
Yeah, Galmore directs a couple of the other fellow prisoners to take hold of Karina, and kind of they steady her, kind of do that, like put her arms around their shoulders and their arms around her body, like one on either side, to kind of prop her up. And one will take what little bit of the ration he had left and give her the rest of it.
I got a few more rations, so I'll drop like another 3 rations for him before I leave.
Okay, cool.
I'll follow suit after Lucius. Probably splitting, like if we both go out the 10, whichever way he goes, I'll just go the opposite, so we're covering a bit more ground.
Okay. Lucius, just so I state this before it comes into effect, what's up with your light?
Something wrong with my light?
I'm just
No,
checking. You had the light
Your
spell
spear.
cast on
Oh, I had
it's now on
casted
his
the
dagger. So
Yeah.
you're leaving it there on the dagger and you're exiting.
Yeah.
Okay. Just double checking.
I thought you meant like my setting out.
Oh,
like,
no,
okay,
no.
what's going on?
No, you're good there. Whatever. I was checking with the your light spell, whether you were keeping it on his dagger, whether you were taking it with you.
Yeah, no, I'll keep it. If I need more light, I can recast it.
Okay, cool. So you guys exit. I want you guys to give me stealth checks.
$23.
I got 11.
Okay. Pius, as you're making your way along the walls, are you going... Which direction are you heading? There was the alcove off to your left now, the one that you guys hadn't looked at. There's the one at your right that has the flaming pillar of...
Staying away from that.
Yeah. So heading towards the left,
Yeah.
moving along the wall.
Yeah.
Hendrix and Lucius, which direction do each of you head? I know Hendrix said the opposite, so I guess Lucius, which direction do you head as you exit?
Towards the middle. I mean, where I said
Like up to the
fire.
throne, or the
Yeah.
fire's off to the right of the throne.
Okay, then I'm going to the right. Then.
Okay.
Lucius, you do have a advantage if you wish to take it. as far as
It's okay. I don't mind if they hear me. I'm the distraction. I take the hit, so it's okay.
All right. So, Pios, you're working around towards the left hand side, and there's another alcove over there. And as you kind of peek around the edge into the alcove space, you see over there seems to be a strange pool filled with what appears to be blood. It's hard to tell for sure given the dim light, but it does seem to be this very dark, like, non-transparent liquid. And you have this iron sort of scent coming up from it. And there just seems to be a window frame worked into the wall behind, like, that further wall that would face towards the area, but it doesn't seem to currently show anything. But there are, like, demonic runes around the outskirts of this this wall frame. You can spot one of these demonic creatures walking towards the mirror and looks over at the splatter of blood upon the mirror, kind of sniffing at it and looking at it, and glances back at the other two. Those visitors. Well, I guess you wouldn't hear because you guys don't speak Infernal. So you'll hear them gutturally calling back to each other. And they, like, are actively searching this kind of room.
And with that, I want to release my spell.
Okay.
30 feet away, outside the door, saying to the degree of no, let's go this way instead, upstairs, or whatever down the other passage. Basically, is one place it's saying. And I am casting Minor Illusion.
Okay. The one by the mirror is currently inspecting this blood better. And the other two turn, though, and start walking towards the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
The one by the mirror puts his finger in the blood and then licks it. Lucius and Hendrix are kind of working their way around the outskirts. And the one that by the mirror pauses and glances over and looks directly where Hendrix is kind of at the wall and shouts out to the other two, and they turn quickly and take form, and they all start to be, like, marching kind of towards the direction of where Hendrix is.
It just sounds real quick before we start.
Okay.
Can I move up on one real quick?
Yeah.
I mean, as far as which one's closer? I guess the mirror
one
guy?
by the mirror is the closest to you. The other two had they're moved a little bit further away, so they were probably about, like, 35 feet from the throne at that point.
Okay, I'm gonna move up on him and slash at his ankles.
All right, really quick, let's roll initiative just so that I get the order, and then you will get a surprise attack round or whatever first, since you were still stealthed. And
dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Nice.
15.
Cool. And
also 15.
Cool. So Pius, go ahead and make that first reactionary kind of strike.
Okay, I'm gonna get advantage. Probably don't need. Oh shit! I rolled 18 and 19. Okay, 25.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. Ooh, max damage. Yes, 11 plus my please. All right. 23 points of damage.
23 points of damage. Nice.
And for my...
You're using your spear on this one?
What do you call it? I use my short sword.
Or short sword, okay.
Yeah.
23 points of damage, alright.
Yeah, and I'm going to use my... Do I get a bonus action? Or no? It's just one attack, right?
No, that's fine. You can do your... this is essentially getting a round before they act.
I should have did that. Okay. Well, I casted that other spell. I probably shouldn't have done... Okay. Let's see, is that a bonus action? Yeah, shit. Okay. Okay, well, I'll just... Never mind. I was going to cast Hunter's Mark, but I should have casted that beforehand before attacking.
Mm-hmm. So, well, I mean, you can still cast it now, so it's ready for
the
next.
No, because I'm all up on the big scary monster, and I'm going to do disengage.
Okay.
And slink back off in the shadows.
All right, perfect. So you disengage, you dart backwards. You can tell, though, that the slash area, though it hit, though it did damage, you can tell that it wasn't quite the damage that you were hoping or you felt that it should have done.
Okay.
All right. So starting at the top of the initiative order, we'll have Hendrix going first.
I'm like, shit. After seeing Piles.
Yeah, you spotted him dart out, attack, dart back, and you can see that these three figures are starting to react.
Yeah, I do like this, like a kid as he's about to start sprinting, that like hop, like that, and I'll just double sprint in, pull my sword out, and just go in for a piercing booming blade on the same one that Pius attacked.
Sounds good.
For a 16 to hit.
16 will hit, yeah.
Okay, so that's 13 plus 8, a d8, which is 5, so 18, and sneak attack. +18 plus 9, which is 27.
27 damage, nice. Yeah, it bites in hard, and he like howls in pain and glances at you, and glances at this crimson rapier that you're holding, and snarls.
I'll withdraw. I disengage.
Bonus action.
No, I fancy footwork. I just get it.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And I'll actually go past him and be ready to meet these other two.
Okay, sounds good.
And end of my turn.
Alrighty. Well, roll me the damage for him moving, because he's going to pursue you.
Okay, perfect. That's, what is it? 2d8? 2d8.
Yeah. Yeah, I think at your level, right?
Yeah. So that's an extra 4 damage.
Okay. He steps forward, like right up on you, and he swings his glaive down at you.
I was going to say, can I use my reaction when he walks into my range? Can I use one of my maneuvers?
Sure.
I'll use brace, which allows me to get a reaction attack off.
Okay.
So, which is a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
For another 30 damage.
Okay, yeah.
14 plus the snake.
You are able to finish him off. Like, he steps forward, this large glaive, he lifts up, ready to strike down at you, and you stab out, and you're able to pierce his heart, and he slinks to the ground, and looks at you in surprise and horror as he falls to the ground dead. Lucius. Oh, sorry. Did you have more?
One quick. Do I get a D6? Or is that just for above ground human?
Let's see. I think so, yeah. Feel free. Roll your D6 and gain your healing.
1 HP.
Oh, see, it must be the demonic blood does not quite fuel as
doesn't sit well.
No. All right, Lucius, you're up.
Do I have enough movement to get to the next person?
Yeah, I'd say you would move forward a little bit, so you could probably get to the next person.
Gotcha. Yeah, after seeing him wailing on this guy and just take him down, I'm like, okay, if he can do it, I can do it. So, let's see. First attack is 19.
Yeah, 19 will hit.
Let's see. Second one is 11. I doubt that one's gonna hit.
11 will not. No.
You have a advantage in chat, by the way.
Okay, I'll take that. First one did 11 damage.
Okay.
Does 18 hit?
18 will hit. Yeah.
That is 9 damage, so that's 20 total.
Okay.
And I'll bonus action hit him with the back of the spear. 13.
13 will hit, actually. Is this, you have the weapon
I got Polar Master.
Master, nice.
And does 5 damage with the back of it. Just hit him with the back of the head, like,
Right.
And after that, he just gonna like stay in position so that way if he tries to get out of my range or somebody comes into my range, I'll hit him with my spear.
Okay.
With my turn.
All right. Pios, you're up.
So is Lucius within the, I guess, would he still be in the threat range of the guy?
Lucius is within 5 feet of one of them, yes.
Okay, good. So I am casting. I can cast. Zephyr Strike. You move like the wind until the end of until the spell ends. Your movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. Once before the spell ends, you can give yourself advantage on one weapon attack roll on your turn. That deals an extra 1d8 force damage on a hit. Whether you hit or miss, your walking speed increases by 30 until the end of that turn. You see this little gnome going because now my speed is 55 feet.
Cool.
And I run up on this large hulking demon thingy and attack with advantage.
Okay.
Does an 18 hit?
Yep.
Okay, so awesome. 9 plus, oh shit. So let's see, 9 points of damage plus 14 points of damage sneak attack plus the one, was it 1d8? I think it was 1d8 for the Zephyr Strike. Get out of my way. Shoo. Get 1d8. 6 points of damage for the Zephyr Strike.
Okay. That's good.
And then, since it doesn't provoke a attack of opportunity, I'm going. Well, I cast a spell, so that was my bonus action, though. So I don't have any. So I'm just gonna run back into the shadows.
Okay. Sounds good.
In
Yeah.
a different area, closer though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know the spell's going to end. So.
Yeah. The attack struck true. Damaged a little bit. Yeah. So he kind of howls in pain, sees you darting away, kind of glances to you, but then looks back over at Lucius and is going to attempt to attack Lucius. 23 to hit. Yeah.
No, I just realized I can hold this up to a minute. Okay.
Yeah, read it and see. Is it?
It's what it says.
Yeah. Here. Let me read.
Okay.
Once before the spell ends, you can give yourself advantage on one attack roll on your turn. That attack deals an extra D8 force damage.
Okay, yeah. So,
whether you hit or miss, your walking speed increases by 30 feet until the end of that turn. So basically, you cast it so you can hold on to it for a minute. Once you make the attack, it expends.
Okay, that's what I was kind of. I figured that in my head. I was like, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Lucius, a 23 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. Let's see. I need a Constitution saving throw. Let's see. That was a bad roll for damage. You're gonna end up taking 5.
21.
5 slashing damage. Okay, cool. So yeah, nothing further happened with that attack. However, as he swings, you see his beard kind of jet out and attempt to attack at you. These jagged points kind of trying to stab down at you, but it's unable to break through the crystalline armor. And he growls a little bit as he fails to pierce your thick protection. The other one is going to step up to Hendrix as he's kind of alone in the middle of the room there, and is going to attempt to do the same, attacking you.
I raise my shield.
Yeah. D&D Beyond. Both hits. Luckily, you're able to kind of dart and jut up your shield and block the incoming attacks as the glaive comes down and the beard stabs out rapidly, trying to catch you off guard. But having seen the attack on Lucius, you were ready. And you will get to go again.
Fantastic. Quite similar rinse and repeat. I'm going to take a side step, staying in range of this first demon, of course. Booming blade, dash to the stomach for a 13 to hit.
13 will just hit.
Just hit, perfect. So that's 15 damage plus 2 thunder, and then sneak attack for 9. So what's that? 11. It's 26. 26 damage.
Beast. Okay.
I'll just maneuver. So I'm assuming the devils are back to back, and me and Lucius are on the other sides of them.
Okay, sounds good to me.
I'm just trying to. And then my turn.
All right. Lucius.
I kind of want to get myself in between them and the doorway, if possible.
All right. Yeah, I figure you can kind of maneuver yourself around a little bit. Lucius, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna attack the guy that tried to hit me with his weird beard thing. Got a 17.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And another 17. Okay, so 13.
Yeah.
And 12.
You jab into him, and you feel the life force being pulled out of him as your spear hits. So roll your d6 and regain some hit points as he crumbles to the ground.
Blood. I got 2. So you see the blood going from the tip of the spear up his hand. Yeah. And how far is the next person?
Hendrix said that they were back to back, so he's like one step forward.
Okay. So bunk him in the back of the head with the back of his spear.
Okay.
Let's see. 26.
Yeah.
And let's see. That is 8 damage.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
All right. Pios, you can see your allies have kind of pinned in this last remaining bearded devil.
I run out with my little self, casting. Actually, I'm not going to cast. I'm going to go. I'm going to run up on the dude that we've been fighting. Is he still alive? Does he look like shit? Is he
there's one very well damaged creature. Yeah.
Yeah, the one that we hit before. He's still. But how? I mean, he's okay. So I'm hitting him right out.
Yeah. So 2 are down, and there's 1 left over.
Okay. So I don't. Well, maybe I'm gonna re-roll because of good roll nat 20. Nope. Rolled nat 1. So the first roll was 21.
Okay, that'll hit.
Ooh, sweet. Okay, 11 points of damage with my sword. And crap on my sneak attack. 7 points of damage with my sneak attack.
All right.
And with my bonus action, I'm gonna go run back in the shadows and hide.
Run away. Yep. Yeah, no problem. It does.
I can't hide. I'm gonna use disengaged, and then I'm gonna go, run back up in the shadows. So.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're able to disengage and scurry away. And you felt it hit. You just know that it didn't quite do all that you would have liked it to be able to do.
Okay.
But he looks pretty worse for wear.
Yeah.
As he growls and looks around at the 2, Hendrix, you stayed there, right? Or did you run away?
If there was nobody else around him, I would have taken me at least the 5 feet back to provoke the him walking.
Okay. I mean, there was at that time there was another bearded devil right behind him, but there.
Then no, I probably would have stayed still then.
Okay. So then he is going to attempt to attack you because you did most of the damage. That shifted from a good roll to not enough roll. So that would only be a 17 to hit, and 17 on both rolls. So
miss.
Yeah, he attempt to attack you twice. Once with the glaive, once with his beard just jetting out, trying to stab into you, but is unable to. And you get to respond now, as it's your turn.
Take a jab at his face for a 15.
Yeah.
For 13 plus 8 thunder.
And roll your d6 to recover some hit points.
Plus the 14 sneak attack. Okay. So he died.
Yeah.
And
you feel
I get a full 6 back.
The life force draining out of him. And you feel that surging healing wave come back into you. The room feels quiet.
We have initiative order.
Yeah.
Take a quick scan around and send a message back to the elf. Say, it's time to go. Come on.
All right.
Take their weapons and armor if you can.
Yeah, you notice they weren't wearing any armor, but they do, like a few of the elves and humans run forward and they scoop up the halberds. So now 3 are holding these long halberds. Or, sorry, glaives.
Glaives. I'm going forward, scouting ahead, moving stealthily.
I'll scoop up Karina again and follow and have the rest follow me.
All right. Yeah, you guys are able to backtrack your way to the entryway again, push open the doors, and the elf comes forward and points like off in a direction. And you hear him say in Elvish, "That way."
And start heading in that direction. Roll to 26 on my stealth.
Yeah. You're fairly quiet up ahead, but you kind of notice, like, between the prisoners and everything else going on, like, they might not spot you, but your group is not exactly incognito. As the mists kind of surround again and pull in around you guys, pulling back a little bit from the dagger that that Galmor is holding on to. And every now and then he kind of gives you subtle course corrections, and what he's seeing or what he is sensing that helps lead you guys on, you can't ever really spot. Like, you're not sure how he knows where to go.
Mm-hmm.
But as time progresses, as you guys move forward with this party, and it's not quite as quickly as you would probably like to go on your own. I mean, they're trying to run, but they're just not super fast. You're able to make it to a point where now you start seeing ahead of you, out of the mist, this looming shape of a mountain range. And the forwardmost mountain he kind of points to. Over there is a door, hidden behind a rock. If you get me there, I can open it.
And continue.
Okay.
Moving
Charging
as
forward.
best as we can. Yeah. Trying to stay as quiet as possible. Taking our time.
Okay. Moving forward, taking your time. Pius, you probably spot first as you glance around, taking in the rest of the group, kind of keeping an eye on everyone, making sure that they're not being too noisy, that they're not standing out as too much. You spot moving, the mist kind of swirls out and starts to fan out away from some figure that is moving through. The sun behind kind of silhouetting through the mist, a large winged creature as it moves forward swiftly, darting towards you guys.
I cast Bless on all three of us.
Okay.
Mention it's coming in the sky. Tell everyone to spread out.
The elf looks back, spots it, eyes go wide.
Don't stay in a clump.
He starts shouting in this guttural tongue, and the people kind of disperse, but all disperse and running now, full sprint towards this mountain.
Shall we cover their backs but head toward the mountain? Well,
Yes.
we can't just stop and fight. We don't know what this is.
Let us go.
He calls back in Elvish. I would run quickly.
What's that? Continue fighting.
No. We must run.
Don't have to
And,
tell me twice.
How far away is it anyway?
I mean, you guys had kind of gotten to the point where you're probably about a couple hundred feet from the mountain by the time
So it's pretty.
they started sprinting towards this figure or towards the mountain, away from this flying figure.
So it's still well beyond 90 feet.
The mountain is, and the creature is still, but it is moving very rapidly.
When it
towards
gets
all
to
of you.
90 feet, I'm casting Hunter's Mark on it.
Okay. No problem.
So,
Just sprinting, using my bonus action to dash and my main action to dodge. So I'm moving at 60 feet while dodging. Serpentine.
Serpentine moves. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Love it. Quickly, it's gaining on you guys as you're trying to sprint. Give me either like athletics or acrobatics check just to see like how quickly are you guys able to move without falling. Is there any dangers?
I got a 23 on acrobatics.
I am using my advantage from Chinomancer.
Okay.
I got 24 on my athletics.
Muscle.
Seriously. Well, the exact same number. All right. So, I rolled 11 on my acrobatics.
Okay.
So I'm not dodging and weaving as well. But plus, my brain is thinking it needs to cast that spell.
Is there any chance that I can hold on action when he gets near somebody? I can do something.
Sure. What is that? Something that you're planning on holding? Because
Guiding Bolt.
okay. Sounds good. You guys are moving forward. Pios has a little bit of a stumble, but it's not like he doesn't fall or anything. He's not avoiding as well. Like as some of you guys are kind of dodging and darting to avoid the any possible damage or range thing. You start to see, as the mists kind of swirl out away from this creature as it rushes down, large winged demonic creature, a huge fiend with long horns coming up, these large wings splayed out to either side of it, pushing it forward at a quick pace as it starts to close the gap. At what distance is your hunter's mark?
90 feet.
Okay. You guys are getting closer to the mountain, though, as you're moving, glancing back, looking up to see this demon coming down. Galmore gets to the stone, and even as he's running towards the stone, you start hearing Hendrix in Dwarven, "Open the way! We're coming! Open the way! He's coming after us!" And as he approaches the stone, it what looked to be a solid piece of stone, like boulder, kind of splits open to the side, and you see a set of stairs that descends below, and Galmore starts guiding people in. Go! And they start disappearing one by one down this way. He's waiting there in the door, basically by the doorway, looking back to you guys. Hurry! And Pios, you're now within 90 feet of this creature, but you are about 40 feet from this opening. What would you like to do?
Casting spell. Well, shit. Okay. No, I'm not going to cast a spell. 40 feet. Yeah, I am not casting a spell. I'm going to use my bonus action to dash.
Okay.
So now I can move 50 feet.
Cool. So you dash forward, getting into this stairwell that leads down and away from the top side. This stairwell's kind of getting crowded, but the people keep moving forward, and you're able to kind of make your way in and dart down a little bit. You are definitely able to sneak your way through some of the crowd and kind of spur the ones ahead of you forward to try to make room for your companions. Hendrix, what would you like to do?
I'll I'll get to the cave entrance, pull out one of my hatchets, and hold my action to throw the hatchet at the flying thing when it's in range. If there's anybody still left outside when it's in that range. If I'm the last one outside, I'm not going to throw it. But if there's still people outside waiting to get in, I'll throw my hatchet at the beast.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Sounds good. Lucius, what would you like to do?
How far away is it?
It is probably about 55 feet behind you and moving very rapidly. The doorway is ahead of you, probably about 40 feet in front of you.
And there's nobody else other than Hendricks now?
Pretty much the last of the prisoners that you guys had freed is making their way down. You have Karina in your arms still, and...
Okay, then, yeah, I would run to the door then.
Sounds good. You dart down into the doorway. Hendricks, this creature rushes forward, kind of bellowing in rage at you and the whole group as you... as he kind of makes his way towards you, the only one now that's kind of out in the open after a fashion.
Why not? I'll just shout, fuck this place, and I'll throw my hatchet as hard as I can at this guy's face.
All right, go ahead.
If it hits, I am going to chuck in a battle maneuver.
Okay, go ahead.
And are we blessed as well, yeah?
Yeah, you were blessed.
For a 14 to hit.
It strikes, but does not actually penetrate the thick hide of this demonic creature as it rushes towards you. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
15.
15.
You have advantage in chat.
Guess I got blessed.
Oh yeah, I've also got blessed for the saving throw.
So do you want to use... Actually, you have... Here, real quick. You have advantage from Munisu that says Hendrick and its portends.
If I can use that on the attack throw. If not, I'll save it.
It's up to you, whichever one you want to try to use your attack on.
I'll use the advantage on the attack roll.
Okay.
You have two advantages, by the way.
So you can use one on each.
Which was lower, so...
Okay.
Now you also have just an advantage on from Shadow Soldier PR.
Did you want to use that on your saving throw, or are you good?
I rolled a 17, but
And
just
bless.
in case, yeah. So that's a 19 plus bless,
There you go.
or a 22
Okay.
on the saving throw.
Now you're spent.
Yeah, you feel this like fear almost take hold of your heart, but then you're able to shake it off. And then you feel a hand grab hold of your shoulder as Galmore tugs at you and pulls you in, yanking you into the area. Do you want to resist? Or
No, I'll let him pull me in.
yeah,
I'm shouting about my hatchet.
even as you're getting pulled backwards, you see the stone kind of slowly start to close as you hear the bellowing anger roar from the demonic creature. And you hear and feel like the shudder as he attacks with whatever weapon he had at his disposal at the stone itself. Galmore will kind of let go of you and say, "Sorry, friend, but he's not worth it."
To be honest, I think I bit off more than I can chew with that one.
Yeah.
Plus, I've just lost one of my hatchets, and what you said earlier about weapons made of metal being quite a rarity in this place, I kind of feel like I've missed out.
Yeah, well, it's all right. Maybe someday we'll be able to get it back. He
If
kind
you
of
find it, you can have it.
smiles.
It's got It's got the letter H in one of the hilts of the hatchet.
He takes the dagger he was holding on to and offers it back to you.
That was Lucian's, so
actually, that is mine. And I grabbed the dagger.
Come. There's a wise woman here that perhaps will be able to help you.
Amazing.
And you can see that some of the guards, most of which are dwarven, heavily armored, but in this weird, like, kind of like insectoid chitin-esque, like, armor that they have, like, strapped onto themselves.
Recycled exoskeleton. Okay.
And they're, like, kind of gathering up all these survivors and bringing them down and in. And one of the dwarves comes up. I am Naldash, captain of the guard here.
Greetings, Naldash. I am Hendrix, and these are my companions, Pios and Lucius. We fell from the above, and in our struggle to get home again, we came across these captors and managed to free them from Gutar. They mentioned this place, and we only hope for information and safe haven and rest.
Yes, Galmore said that you would perhaps... I'm sorry, should I speak in Infernal for your friends?
They don't speak Infernal. I can translate if Dwarvish is the only other language you know.
Yes. A little bit of Elvish here and there, but not much.
They speak Elvish. So I'm sure they'll appreciate it when you can.
And he'll turn, say greetings in Elvish, then turn back to Hendrix. Galmore mentioned that you may want to speak to our mistress, Sadim.
He did mention you have a mystic or an elder lady here that could give us some answers. I'll turn to the party. They have an elder that might be able to answer some questions.
I will lead you.
Would be wise.
Before we go, I'm gonna look at the Galmor guy and then I'll be like, here, you deserve this, you earned it, and I'm gonna give him like my old spear and the armor that I had before I got the magical one. And here, it'll still rewear. Well, I don't need it anymore.
You had actually left your old spear on the table of the.
Well, I had a few because I
had a few. Okay,
ones.
Cool. Yeah, no problem. He'll take it.
All on his back.
Kind of wide-eyed. He's like, in Elvish, thank you, friend. This is a mighty gift.
You're welcome. I took that with me through war, so it's been used since battle already.
I will cherish this. And he kind of gathers it up.
Good luck.
Thank you. We owe you much. The dwarf will start to lead you off. Kind of taking a turn fairly quickly, like it lowers itself, descends down for quite a ways, and then the main path seems to go down and to the left, and this one he takes and goes up and to the right, and you kind of sense it almost spiraling slowly up, higher into the mountain itself. Eventually, you can get to this room, and it doesn't seem like there's really many other side passages till you get pretty high. There's one or two that you spot, but he leads you on, and at the very end of it, it seems to open up into a large room that's been carved out. There seems to be some sort of like skylight area that you can see the mist swirling above from. And there's a pool of almost clear water down there below. And you see a fairly old elven woman sitting by this pool in a stone chair. And she's like covered up with furs and kind of staring into the pool. And as you step in the room, I heard a commotion, she says in Elvish. Who comes? And the dwarf will respond, switching to Elvish now. A group of people. Galmore claims are from the topside. Perhaps you can help them. She glances over. Yes. Then she pauses. And you can tell, those of you who can cast spells, which I think all of you have some sort of spellcasting abilities at this point, can spot that she casts some sort of spell. And as she speaks again, you all seem to equally be able to understand her. I thought this would be of better use. I do not wish to be rude and have any of you not understand me.
I appreciate it. As unfortunately, I'm not gifted with the Elvish tongue.
We all have our faults.
Sure we all do. Sorry, I'm Hendrix. This is Lucian Pius. And your name?
She nods roughly to each of you, but you can kind of tell that her eyes are like glassed over, like this dull gray, no real light or shine to them. I am Sadim. I am... Suppose they call me like a wise woman here? Though I suppose any elf of my age would be considered wise to the uninitiated or the younger races.
Wise woman. You know how we can get back to Topside?
Yes. You were all brought here under strange circumstances. Strange craft. I could maybe figure this out. Is there anything I can do for you before I figure that out? Anything you need answering, or...
Could you help our friend here? And I'll lay down our Karina.
She is a special circumstance. Well, I suppose a little weaving would at least help her get back. She reaches out, and with her hand, she almost does this, like, gestures, like she's sewing something. And then you can kind of feel the spark of magic go off. She'll be okay when she gets back home, but it's not going to be easy. It may take her some time to recover.
And
thank you very much.
So this rumors of the topside, it is really true.
oh yes, it's a land where there's sun. There's the best part of it, but most part of it there's peace. But the devils, they don't want that, and they're trying to get above to the top side.
Dear.
And they seem to have a plan with collars and self-sacrifice.
The old ones.
The moving of souls.
Yes.
We have them.
The dark trees. Yeah. They came before. They started it all. And they seem to want to finish off the work, I suppose. They're the ones, or so I'm told. I'm old, but not that old. They came with the demons. They struck out. The creatures in the dark robes and the black trees emblazoned upon their chests brought the demons and overran the world. destroyed those of our kind before. We thought all was lost, but we had heard rumors that some escaped somehow. But never thought that those ancient tales were of any use. To think for 3,000 years we struggled down here, and you guys have found your peace up there for so long.
If we only knew. I don't think anybody knows there's people down here. Obviously, we fight to push back the devils from coming above on the island that sunk. I don't know if you're aware. Some of you believe it's legend.
Well, none of us have traveled so far. It's not easy. As I've heard, you were pursued by the Lord Gadar himself. You must have pissed him off something fearful.
Oh, that was Gadar.
Yes, large-winged demonic creature, so I'm told.
At least I know who owes me a hatchet now.
Yes, apparently. If we can find it, then we'll gather it, but we won't venture out for some days now.
Understandable. Yeah. Didn't seem the friendliest of people.
No.
I don't want to take from you. You don't seem... But there's somewhere to rest for a little while. Guys, do we need any information?
If you feel...
Anything you need to ask this mystic about this land? The fog.
Yes.
Where does the fog come from? It just seems to be everywhere and retreats from light.
It is a mystical, magical thing that they brought with them. They created these special creations. They siphon souls. And they also create the mists, which allows their demonic forms to persist here. They've turned this into another level of hell. A 10th level, I suppose, if those rumors are true. Though that is not my expertise.
Do you by any chance have any information we can take with us to the top? We have a powerful wizard that is trying to look into this with us to find a way to, get rid of these demons.
Well, the myths are a big problem. I don't know all the specifics, but these devices, the ball-like structures that float upon large plinths, they're probably about 10-foot balls that float above a plinth, and it seems to emanate the mist. But from what I've been able to ascertain, when one dies nearby, their soul is siphoned into that plinth and becomes fuel for their magics and their abilities. If those are to be destroyed, it would probably hamper them. I am not 100% sure. Much more.
That's good to know.
I
Do you by
noticed,
any chance? Oh, God.
I noticed that our weapons did less damage than normal to these devil things.
Your weapon must have done less damage. I sense there are...
I pulled out my short sword.
If you had used the other thing you carry that emanates magical abilities, it may have done more.
So only magic can harm them.
They seem to be resistant to other sorts of damage, which has been hard for us down here, as we were not left with much. And though the dwarves seek more ores and minerals down here, what little we capture, we don't all have the ability to make magical.
I put my short sword back up.
Do you by any chance know anything about these mirrors and how they travel through them, like the rooms?
I've never seen the mirrors. I've been told by people who have been to their court and returned somehow that they Gadar has one there, but I've never been in the presence. So no, I'm sorry. I do appreciate it.
Thank you for your help.
I would tell your friends not to try. Honestly, we're lost here. Just protect your lands. And I'll protect my people as best we can. If you would like to rest before making the journey, if you feel that is necessary, I am happy to allow that. It will only prolong your time up there for a bit, but I can send you back whenever you're ready. I feel the tethers. They're weak, but I can manage it.
What do you mean send us back?
Well, you're here, but you're not here. You're tethered here from some magical abilities. I don't see your faces, but I can feel your essences. I can't see your life force exactly, but I can feel the magic, and it's something is binding you here for the moment.
And what about our friend here?
When I tied her to you, so when I send you back, it should send her back. It's.
Well, I think we should go back, especially if our bodies are somewhere else.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I'm now worried that my body has been left alone on a ship full of pirates.
I would worry about
untrustworthy people.
I would worry.
Send me back to my body, please.
Are you ready then? She reaches down to her side and she pulls up a pair of large, shears. And she looks over to you guys and she pulls them back, and you see these magical, glowing elongation of the shears on either side, and she snips them above your head, and you feel this weird sensation of being sucked and drawn out. Give me a Constitution saving throws.
Uh, 13.
I'm going to use my last advantage given to me.
22.
Really?
Same again? Or worse?
Exact same, yeah.
I love when that happens.
12.
Lucius, you feel warmth. You feel the sun upon your skin as your eyes open again. You feel a weight on your chest as you blink open and you see the yellow skin of Karina kind of pressed up against your chest, her arms still wrapped around your neck as you lay there on the wooden deck of the New Dawn. And you can see Randy staring down at you, confused, almost panic-stricken. And as
it's all right, we'll explain.
you start to figure out that you're back, you glance over and you can see Hendrix and Pio start to stir, and their eyes blink open as you two both feel the warmth of the sun.
Me? Are we back?
I do believe so.
Randy looking down at you. And that is where we will end today's session. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this little side excursion. Sadly, Randy couldn't join us, so this is a perfect time to do a little bit of lore drop and a little adventure, get Karina back to topside. And now, if Karina's player ever feels the opportunity or the desire, the ability to return to us, at least they'll have a character if they want to continue with that one. it's been awesome for you all joining us, helping them out in chat, helping them succeed or fail less miserably. Love you all. Thanks for joining us. Join us tonight for Prince of the Apocalypse. Will be streamed tonight at 5:30 Pacific time, and extrapolate that out to everything else, 8:30 Eastern, and whatever that is for our poor English friends and those on the other side of the continent in the middle of the night. Tomorrow morning, about the same bat time we started this, Dave and I should be streaming a little bit. We're going to do some new player, like some brainstorming, because we want to do some how to teach D&D sessions that we can run on our YouTube channel, but we're going to do a little brainstorming and have that live. So if anyone wants to join us and help us think out what to tell other players, that would be awesome for you to jump in and tell us your experience learning D&D or your suggestions of teaching D&D to someone, and maybe we can utilize all that in future videos. Other than that, anything else that anyone needs to add or anything to plug?
One last thing. So we had one more special thing from chat. Luckily, I get to return it to Mooney Sue. She gave you disadvantage on your rolls, so she can use that for a later date.
All right.
Probably on me.
Yep. Please.
But anyway, but yeah, as far as watchers go, yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, and all that other fun stuff. We are going to add more stuff to not only to the Twitch site, but as well as a bunch of other stuff too. So so look us up below, all the buttons down there. So
yep. All right, guys, with that, goodbye.
Peace out.